All right, hi, this is Elliot Wave Sage. I'm going to go ahead and start and want to just do a quick live stream. I have some time. I was able to get back and finish travel, and I think it's important to go through a video today. There's a lot going on in the market. It's very confusing. A lot of traders are confused right now. A lot of mixed signals. If anyone tells you they know what's going to happen, they're lying. No one knows, even I don't know for sure. This market is very dangerous for both sides. I do expect a massive move is coming, and one side is going to blow their account up. Essentially, the market is setting itself up for either a massive gap up or gap down, where you can't even like get out of your positions without being destroyed, like way above or below your stop area. That's what I think we're setting ourselves up for. But of course, I'm leaning bearish. So, um, and thank you, Kujara, for subscribing. Okay, so here we are. So as people join, I'll go in it. But the market, like I said, is very dangerous. It requires a lot of thought and understanding to see where we are with it. So like when I look at the Dow Jones, let's just start with the Dow Jones on the 45 minute. You know, big picture, if I know we're going to have Y. So you have an AB, so we should have an impulse down if that's right. So if we have an impulse down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we bounce. So now the question is, are we still in this 2, correct in this cycle or not? Well, until we break that high, it's not confirmed, right? Until you break this high, right? So you haven't broke this high yet. You know, you came close today. It came close, but close doesn't matter. Ask Tesla, when it peaked, it had the same setup and it came pennies away, and then it like subsequently went down, I think 50%. So close doesn't matter. It didn't break. And now we have a 1, 2, 3 wave move. So let's see if the RSI gives us any clues as to where we are in the cycle. Looks like no divergence. It looks like a 3-wave move. You could debate whether there's divergence there. Let's look. Since this is such a short cycle, we could look at the 15-minute, and you can see there's divergence here. And we even have some here. So I think this could be an impulse, but then I could make it a flat very easily by putting the one there and going ABC. So I'm not really too concerned because we got up so close. But I do think if we break this high, then technically we should go higher. But to go higher means energy needs to go higher, industrials needs to go higher, materials needs to go higher. And actually, oil was, I think, red today, and it sold off. It started to sell off exactly where I thought it would. So that, again, is something to think about. So this would be another, looks like 470 points higher. So it could go here. So we don't know. So we don't know anything. So the Dow wasn't helpful. What about the SPY? Same setup. Same setup. And if we break this high, then it seems likely it's going to come up and retest the 418 high. So, but it hasn't happened. But once it does, I think short positions, you do need to respect the count. You have to respect the count. 411, somewhere in this area. So if that were to happen, this is where. So I do think we'll be selling off. It's just how high do they want to pump this, or how much FOMO is going to happen. The 45-minute, I guess, let's look to the 4-hour bigger picture. Starting to build in the hidden bearish divergence. You may have some Stoke RSI bearish divergence if you break that high. So just a couple mixed signals. The daily stochastic is getting close uh, to completing. So again, not a lot, very confusing. And then of course, technology, 1 2 1 2, and again we didn't break this high. We have to break these highs, and then if we do, then more than likely we're heading up to 317.88 in this area, that area. And we'll look at the tech stocks and see if it supports that or not. So for now, though, the bears have to come through tomorrow. If they don't, this setup will be blown, and it will squeeze higher. I'm pretty sure it will. The surprise move will be, maybe it makes, just a little bit of a higher high to stop people out here, and then just massive dump. Like the SPY, we just break this high, and then so you can't. Again, no one knows what the market's going to do, but um, I'm just kind of showing you the different setups. And then the IWM, again, it could be a 1 2 1 2, but it seems likely to be some kind of flat and back test this. So again, it looks like it wants to go higher, and we would get rid of this and call this 2. We would get rid of that and put the 2 there and the 1 there. But let's look at banks. What are banks doing? What is the financials? Does the financials have any more room to do that or not? So those are the cash markets. So what about Bitcoin? So Bitcoin pumped, but it wasn't able to take its high out either. So it's still in its own 1 2 1 2 count. So far, the market has gone as bullish as it can be without invalidating the bearish case. Basically, and Bitcoin did the same thing. It hasn't made 5 waves, so it's still in the bearish count. Oil today hit the short area. It was A, B, C, 74.21, and pulled back. And now you could call this a back test of that massive top in top. So oil looks like it's turning lower. That would be bearish for energy, bearish for the Dow and commodities. What's gold? Gold typically goes up, right? Market's been going down when gold goes up. This looks like a 4, triangle 4. Like that. Uh-oh, we're almost done. What happens when he's done? Boom, gold goes to 2080. I bet the market sells off. And it may even be done now. We don't know. So think about that. So there's 2 pieces of evidence that say bearish. Oil and gold. Assuming gold higher is bearish, that correlation. How about the bond market? What's the 2-year doing? Well, the 2-year is in this B wave. It looks like it's either another 1 2, and we're about to have a big push higher in a 3 of 3. That should be bearish for tech, right? It should be bearish for tech to finish this B out somehow. The 10-year, what's the 10-year doing? It's actually going higher. If it could break this peak, then that would be bearish for tech, and that would put the C. I said the C could be done already, and if it is, then that would be bearish for tech. The VIX is low. This is typically where it tends to bounce. So VIX doesn't have much more downside. Again, that leans direction bearish. The dollar index is actually green, but the market's still pumping. So that's interesting. But if it could get some follow through on the upside, I bet the market will succumb to that. So again, the dollar index, although it's been being beat down, it's holding up its structure. It hasn't broke this March 23rd low yet. It's holding up. And let's see what else is going on in the market. Individual tech stocks. I'm looking for things making new highs that we need to worry about. So far, I haven't seen anything. There's Tesla, something maybe like that. Microsoft, no. So Nvidia could make a new high. Maybe this is the last thing Nvidia needs. Maybe that's what's keeping the market up. Google is good. So far, nothing Apple hasn't broke the high. So far the market structure is still bearish, but there's no more room. There's no more room left. And let's see how the commodity stocks held up today. The XLE is in this four wave. It looks almost finished. Oh yeah, let's look at the financials and see while they were pumping. Let's take a look if they got done, if they have more upside, because this could be a clue for the Russell. So it looks like Wells Fargo does. So that means perhaps the Russell will go higher, right? That means the Russell probably will go higher. How about Bank of America? The same thing, should go higher. So it does seem likely the market in the short term still is going to go higher. Um, Definitely the Russell looks like it's not complete until these twos are in this area and this area. Let's look at the ETF for the financials. Um, and we're just not there yet. We're close. So the Russell looks like it should go higher. How about the emerging markets? What did China do? It pumped yesterday, but it pumped right to the short area, literally to the penny. So it's more than likely that's done. So that'll be dollar strength if this is finished. So that'll put pressure on the market. So I look at all the evidence across the market right now. I still would lean bearish. I wouldn't worry too much about positions, but you do need to keep an eye on things. I do think if one of these pivots breaks, I'm not maybe outside. Maybe if the Russell comes up here, that can be acceptable. Maybe tech sells off and the Russell and the Dow finish a little bit higher, something like that. We'll have to wait and see. But market is very dangerous at the moment. I'll just say that. But I do think a big move's coming to the downside, looking at everything. If you look at commodities too, the way natural gas has been selling off, and then I was looking at lumber really taking a dump. So you're getting commodity. This is bearish. That'd be bearish for the market if commodities like that are selling off. All right. So yeah, I'll do some questions for you guys. Yeah, the dump. I think everyone's looking for the dump, and that could create a squeeze situation because I think when the dump happens, it will be so obvious. It will just be like there'll be no doubt, and I believe we'll gap down a lot lower. My guess, if I look at where the Nasdaq is, it will come back, and you'll have probably one massive drop down to here in one trading day from here to here. That's what I think will happen to the Nasdaq, and then you will close the day here, and then eventually bust through that, or you maybe rebound and out. But I bet, boom, just like that. So all these guys FOMO and in tech, even if we go a little higher, if you don't close your profits out, if you're going long, I think you have all it takes is one hot inflation report, one CPI report that is above expectations, and tech is boom, it's gone. It's lights out, and I think it's setting up for that situation to be disappointed. But we'll see. Let's see. I'll try UTSL. UTSL. Oh, utilities. Yeah, I don't. I haven't. I think I do have a utility chart. All right. So, I got utilities going down to 56 before it's a buy. 52. Ideally, could even get 49. So I would say this is just a connector. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just finishing up wave two here, like the rest of the market. So short term higher, long term, midterm lower. In the symbol that you're showing will do the same. Will do the same thing. It should do the same thing. It should bounce, and then it should fail. Right, down, up, and then yeah, this is it's gonna retest. Yeah, it's gonna come up and then down another swing. I can't give you a target, but I think it's somewhere in this area, 17, 14, like. But I think it's gonna bounce first. Okay. American Tower. Oh, one of those REITs. All right. I like that three waves. No divergence. So that's really good. That's a good bottom to work off of. So that's a significant low. 178.11 has to hold or it's lights out. So if that doesn't hold and it's not looking good, then we're looking at 110.81. As low as even 33. It'll basically be a catastrophe. Look at that massive top-in pattern, 5-year top finishing up. So when I look at that, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it's probably going to break. Uh, where is it? It seems like, though, you have three, and this looks like five, so it looks like a flat. So again, the market this seems incomplete, like it wants to come back up here to like 247, but man, I wouldn't count on it. Yeah, I wouldn't even try. I would say no way. I would just say it's in the process of finishing and then to go into its 3 of 3 moment on the downside. Maybe short it. I don't know, but you do what's best for you. And like always, this isn't financial advice. J JEPQ. Oh, what's that? Well, it's not doing that great, but it's got three down with divergence, 4 hour divergence. So chances are it's going to take another swing lower in like a WXY structure. It looks like it wants to go a little bit higher. There. Looks like it can go to 45.22, 45.65, and then it should take another leg down to like 33.94 to 26.85, somewhere in this area. So that's how I would look at that. Something like that. So looks like a little more upside, although it could be done at any moment. It's a race. Yeah, I mean it could be done at any moment, any second, any moment. But per my system I use, that would be the sell point right there at 45.30 and then down. And then you want to see the daily divergence, boom, erase all that. And then it's a buy. SQQ is one that I'm in, but that doesn't matter in the end whether I'm in it or not, because I can be wrong. So always do what's best for you. I have 5 up in an A. It's hard to see it, but it's basically two expanded flats nested together, A, B, and C, and then an A, B, C for an impulse down. But what I like about where it stopped, where it bottomed right here between this two, and it respected the low, the all-time low, and it bounced hard there. Boom. And then it kind of, and then today didn't do a good job today for me, and I have to update this chart. But I would label it one, two, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like this is just three waves up, right? I mean, I guess you could try to force five waves. You do have divergence here, which is good. Probably not on the 4 hour though, but on the 45 minute. So could this be some kind of let's see here, C, B, A. Yeah, I look at this. I look at it as probably it could be 1A, B, C. That's how I'd look at it. And it's got to respect. It's got to hold 3101. It's got to hold 3101. And of course, it could be a run in flat, so it could end at any moment if we want to see divergence in that impulse, and you do. So it could end at any moment, the run in flat, if that's what this count is. If we break this pivot, then there's a significant chance it will come down to 28 and break that. And those are the things you got to be thinking about as a trader. Don't just hold, right, and hope, because this may have to squeeze and play out and then crash later. Unfortunately, at least and that's not the way I want it to be done. But I don't get to decide that. I don't make the market, so I just have to trade what I'm seeing. Right now, it's okay, and it could be done at any moment as long as I think we're above 3105. I haven't looked at Litecoin in a while. Thought we're I thought it was not looking too great. Yeah, I have it still making a move down in 5. And this 2 should finish. Here's 3 waves. So I think the 2's already finished. If Litecoin could break 96.31, then it negates the view, and I have to change everything. It would pretty much destroy the bearish case unless it erased divergence. So if it could finish an impulse and pull back, it would just destroy the bear case. Right now, though, this is a legitimate count. We'll have to see what happens to it in the next couple days. But for now, I'll leave it this way. But if we break this high, it could still be in 2. I could have a not if divergence is erased. If divergence is not erased, then this is still valid. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is how I see it in the bigger picture. I'm not calling the low. I'm still calling the massive flat. A, B, C, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. See the 4? Never made it over the 1. And I said that. I said you can't call this a bottom until the 4 beats the 1. It never. And look, and coincidentally, that's where it got rejected. So I'm going for the flat. I'm looking for a final price of like $22, $26, somewhere around there, when it's all said and done in this area, for a massive opportunity in Litecoin. But again, it could still go lower, like natural gas. So you can't just load the boat at 20. You got to have money just in case it does go into the single digits. But this will be the area to accumulate it if this plays out. But we'll know in probably another couple trading days at the most. Yeah, the super chats, they'll come back once I get my 1,000 subscribers. They'll be back. So I have to just go in this order. ALPP. Let Let me take a look at that here. Um, oh, we have that one already charted. So we were looking for this bottom. We never got it. So we got, we had this low we thought was a 2, but then it turned corrective. So then, and it broke the low. You see how it broke that low? So that's very bearish now, and that's not a good sign. It actually looks like some kind of descending triangle that just broke down. Um, we got to look at this. It could be an impulse. It may not even be. This may not be the right. Yeah. So it's still in Y. The trend is still lower, but it is going to do a. I think now it's in a 5-wave move. Yeah, we'll see the bullish divergence. So it's in a 5. So it is going to bounce pretty hard soon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it could be finished, but just keep in mind the big picture. It may come back up to 110, but that it may not go much higher than that, and then that would just be B, and then you still have C to finish Y. So I don't think it's a good trade, but maybe you could try to play that B wave. But that B is going to happen at any moment, but it's going to fail. Now, if it goes up higher, C will come up. Maybe it could get to $2. I don't know. AEHR. So this one was doing well, doing pretty well. We said to just sit tight in it, and that was the right move here. Boom, and we've been up. We're still in this wave 3. It looks like, but we haven't really gotten a lot of that separation I'd be looking for. Yeah, like this. So it should make one more high and then pull back again. It could also be a 1-2, 1-2. So many things, but it looks like this is the conservative view. This is the conservative view. And then down, and then massive rip out. So I don't know, like, there's a lot of scenarios, but obviously the trend's higher for now. It is done 3 here, so you got to be careful you're not in. So the other thing is you could still be in 2. So it could still be like a A, B, C, a massive flat. So you also got to be careful. So it's really one that I wouldn't trade or do anything with right now, because that would be a shocker, right? To go all the way back down, to go A, B, C, and crash with the market. So I don't know. I can't call it yet. I can't call it yet. I think the safe thing to do is just, since it made a new high, just call it like this for now. Let's see, Microsoft, I have it as a top. It has to hold. So here's the high, 283. That's the peak. And it hit like my sell area and then my extreme area, sell area. And if it finally got rejected there, it's struggling. So it could be a 3 of 3 down at any moment. It could be like boom, down any moment, just like that. I have it as a triple correction, WXYXZ, and that's the way I'm going to leave it. Hopefully it will go down to 149 when it's all said and done. If it breaks this high, then I have to redo the whole count, and I'll have to redo the chart. But it would still be bearish, but I would say the next target, if it breaks that high, would be more than likely 313. Yeah, I mean, maybe you could do it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I would have to spend more time and study it, but this is the chart I've got right now until it's invalidated. Until it's invalidated. The daily, you look at the stochastic here, see the daily's turning down, guys. It's turning down. The daily's turning down, right? It's not turning up. It went. There's a lot of room to go down. See, see. That's why that's the forecast down. Okay, so um, weekly RSI hasn't confirmed it. Daily RSI hasn't confirmed 4 hour, but this is most of the market. Most of the market hasn't confirmed. That's why it's struggling to find direction. But I would say the Stoke RSI has shown something. Netflix was in a short area as well. 1, 2, 3 short at 337, and now we need to wait. If it makes a new high, well then it's 5 waves. So then this would be a low. So if Netflix makes a new high, I mean, it will be 5, and then there'll be a pullback, right? And then you can buy that. So do so. So I don't know. I think right now though I'm not labeling it as that. I'm it's the more bearish case. But if it breaks the high, then it should go to 340, 346, somewhere in there. 340, 340. If it breaks this high, but there's no way of knowing. Like, do I know if it's going to break the high? I don't know. All I know is you trade against that high. You trade against that high, and you have your stop there. And if it breaks, it breaks. I mean, look at these candles. Bearish, bearish. And then what? Oh my gosh, we got to buy it. Oh, holy crap. Before it go, this is just such a weird scam like pump here, guys. It's just today's action was seemed like so like manipulated and just so out of place for the even the fundamental investors were like scratching their head like who the hell's buying right now. Like these guys are like they're like Nvidia has a PE of 100. They're like who the hell's buying that? Well, somebody is buying it like it's like we gotta buy it because it's going to like 10,000. Like I mean, who the hell's buying these stocks? Like who's pumping these stocks? Whoever's the invisible hand holding the market up, I believe they're going to be out of business, and they'll be one of the stories we'll hear about as the catastrophe. The firms that go bankrupt and crashes. We're gonna find out what market maker because I guarantee you when if tech pulls off this drop like I'm thinking it could do, if tech pulls off this drop down, guys, and it drops like boom, consolidates, and then boom, I bet there's going to be a market maker or someone, a broker that sells derivatives. They're going to be bankrupt, out of business. You're going to hear it like Citadel's out of business. Somebody's going to go bankrupt because somebody's supporting this market and they're like all in to keep this shit going. Because today's price action did not even match. It didn't match. Was it just on Lululemon? Oh my God, people are buying spandex, pants. So the market's got to go to the moon. Like, and what did Lululemon do? I think it faded the whole day, right? Like I said, to fade that shit. How did that end today? Yeah, see, this was my short area, and I said with Lululemon it was gonna pop here, but it even went outside of that, so it's just fading down. It's gonna fade all the way down, and then it's gonna be like, oh shit. So it's just so unnatural, man. It's just so unnatural what's happening in the market. But but as long as for Lululemon, as long as this high holds, it's bearish. Even though it was a spectacular day for a little bit. So, what sectors do you think pull us out of the bear market in the future? Um, I think my guess is technology pulls us out of the bear market based on the the technology cycle of new products that come out, and we already know the theme. It's AI. So eventually, towards the end of this decade or towards the 25, 26, at some point, AI will add meaningful growth to everybody It will be the R&D. It'll be like cloud was in the 2015. Like, see, I watched Kramer and all that shit in 2015, 2016, all that shit. And you know what he was doing? It's the cloud, guys. It's the cloud. Oh my God, everyone's going to the cloud. It's like, AWS, and they were right. It created a lot of revenue growth for all these companies, and it created new companies that never existed. And it kept the tech bubble going. It kept it going for a while. And I think AI will do the same thing. It will reinflate the tech bubble, which is why I don't think we'll get a grand super cycle crash, a 1929 crash. We're gonna get a crash because anything that's down more than 2% is like a crash in this market. But where, like I said, my bigger view on the market is we dropped down to SPY 310, 290, this area, somewhere here, and then we rally in the bull market continues, and I think tech will lead us out of that bull market. And I would go into the stuff that's strong now. So what do you buy down here if this happens? Well, you buy Nvidia, you buy all the shit that's pumping right now. You go buy it. That's going to be the sector leaders of the bull market. The stuff that's strong. Meta's strong. I don't know why it's strong. It's strong. So you buy that. So you buy the stuff that's strong down here. Or by some miracle, there's a stock that holds the low. If we're trading down here and there's an individual stock that doesn't make a new low, you better be buying that, because that's going to be a massive mover come the next bull market. So we got to look for those stocks too. But I think if commodities goes up, the bear market continues. I think that's the problem. If the commodities can't get under control here, and they parabolic, or they just go crazy, the dollar collapse, whatever it is, then the bear market's just going to keep going, and then maybe you will get the crash of all ages, the mother of all crashes. So we'll see. Futures are red. We'll see how long that lasts. And again, they love to pump the futures. Like like we were trading red all day the other day, and then literally at 401, boom! It's like all this buy-in. Like who the hell's like? Why don't you just buy it during the cash market? Like they wait. So this so This is so. It feels to me, in my opinion, it's so artificially supported to give the illusion of stability and confidence, and to possibly allow big players to unload their positions, to get out of the market while the get-in's good, right? Sell into strength. I don't know. Let me see here. So I'm gonna wrap it up real quick, guys. I can't stay on much longer. Um, Boyle. Okay, if you guys are in natural gas, you're going to be holding it for years. That's what I've been saying. It's not a trade. It can go even lower. Look, and it may go lower. Look, it could end up down at 1.7 to 1.5, 1.4. So this is gonna if you're trying to trade it, go trade something else. Like invest, yeah, do that. Buy it, buy more, buy more. Was it gonna go to zero? I mean, maybe it will go to zero. I don't know. It will be free gas for everybody. We could go lock in our rates, in markets that allow you to do that. I mean, I don't know, but it is kind of ridiculous. I think it's under pressure until the stocks make a low. So I showed this earlier. I'm like, Devon is a natural gas stock. Well, it's not at its low yet. So I bet I have a hunch when Devon Energy trades down to 41 and 40, natural gas will find its bottom. I just have this feeling that will happen. And then when Chesapeake Energy trades down to 62.60, I bet natural gas will find its bottom. I just have this funny feeling that's what's going to happen. And then all those instruments, boom, they hit at the same time, and they can go higher. That's what I think. Because if I look at the market, the only two stocks that I see that are buys coming up are Devon Energy at 42 and Chesapeake Energy at 65 in massive wave twos of a large degree. And what do? They work with natural gas. So what does that tell me? Natural gas is going to be bullish in this time frame up over here on this side of the that's what it's telling me. I mean, and again, I can be wrong, right? Maybe Chesapeake Energy is going to take a shit like it did last time and go bankrupt. Like it went, this company's already gone bankrupt, but he's going to do that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the future, right? Maybe Russia's going to drop nukes on everyone, and the world's going to end, and it's like boom, a game over, we all die. I mean, I don't know. All I know is this should be supported here for a bounce, a pretty healthy bounce at least, or new highs. But yeah, they have to cut production, right? These guys, I'm like, they're idiot. Well, they're not cutting production. Well, you dumbasses, you have to cut production. I mean, but maybe they're scared. That's what tells me is maybe the economy's in worse shape than we realize. Maybe there is like a freaking depression on the way. Is industrial production that poorly? Is the future that bleak that natural gas is going to trade like I mean, it just seems so strange what's happening. But the materials sector is doing well. I do think it's due for a pullback, another one. But yeah, I'm a bear 3 to 6 months. Indices feel primed to pump for the next week or two. They could if they break those pivots. I think you're right. So it's not like official yet. Ironically, the futures are selling off, which I mean we have to have a red day tomorrow. Like if it pumps or even tonight and we break this high here, then yeah, then I think you've got maybe not 2 weeks, but maybe a week. I'd give it a week or so, maybe April 3rd, the way we're going, April 5th, around there. But yeah, April should be bad. Now, if it respects this low, who knows? We could come down. I think there's like a PCE report on Friday. What if that is so hot? What if that is just like, volcano lava hot? Oh yeah, this shit will go down like you'd never see. It's gonna crash like because then it's like Fed's got Nasdaq will crash. So I don't know. Maybe the market's getting just waiting for that information. I think it's Friday. You guys can confirm it. I thought I heard they said it comes out Friday. If that comes out Friday, well then it just kind of holds here, and then Friday, boom, big move. Oh, it's positive, great. No, negative, dump. I don't know, but it seems like it's gonna be a pretty good battle right here. We'll have to wait and see, but um, there's been no instrument other than the banks that show like they need a sequence higher. The banks look like they need more upside. I clicked through everything here. The only thing that looked like it needed more upside was the banks. Was like Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So I mean, I guess it could be truncated, but that's so yeah, with divergence. I guess if the bank, let's say it does collapse tomorrow, boom, it collapses, then this would just have to be some weird ass flat pattern where it was like an A, B, C. It was like something like that. So, I mean, that's what I don't know. But if it's a classic Elliott wave ABC, then it should go higher, and that tells me the market should go higher, right? Especially the Russell. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's it's tough. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. Yeah, PCE Friday. So PCE is going to move the market, guys. That's going to move the market. I don't know how it's going to read. If it reads hot, there's no way the market's going up. If it reads hot, it'll be a great excuse to get the tech sell-off going, I think. Now, if it reads like, surprise, deflation, or it's cool, then yeah, the market's going to pump on that, and tech's going to rip, man. So that's a huge move. That's a huge day, I think. And then, of course, yeah, CPI is always huge. Um, Okay, guys, so I got to go early. We'll do more live streams later, but like I said, this market's dangerous. It's still the Bears have a chance here. They still have a chance, but they're running out of space, and if they run out, then like one of the poster Lachlan said, I'm with you then. But I think it may be a couple weeks. I don't. I think yeah, 1 week. I think, and then I think But I bet that week it pumps, it's gonna be like a melt your face off pump, like some like a spectacular um, FOMO pump type thing, which should be okay. Because then you could just market buy calls or whatever, day trade that, and then sell it before market closes and scalp it. Because I think that's what I mean. It would be pretty obvious what to do. So I think that's what all the traders would do. I would just not recommend holding positions overnight in this market. But you got that's what I mean. That's how I would look at it because I do think the day this ends, whenever it ends, whatever news or whatever they do to end it, it's going to be like we're opening down here, and you're not going to have, oh, I'm just going to like stop out. Well, no, you're going to be like freaking destroyed. Like whatever calls you own will be like worthless, and then yeah, oh, I have a stop loss on Nvidia, here. You're going to be like 30% under the stop, whatever. You're going to be so far under your stop loss you will never get it. So I think you're just going to have to understand that the risk of holding overnight, I think, is very extreme. But yeah, I mean, if you look at just the pattern, the cup, a little bit of a handle, it just if it does dump like I have it here, it does dump, man. It really suckered in a lot of bulls. It's like unfair because it totally like it's very tempting. It's a very tempting pattern. If you're a pattern trader, this is so tempted to just go long right now. And I can see it. And you can even say, oh, it's 5 waves up, and look at that. It could even call it like maybe some kind of, you know, bull. I would call it a flag, but some kind of bullish pattern. We're going 350. I mean, you could talk yourself into some crazy thoughts just looking and staring at this. It's just we'll have to wait and see what happens. Very